This is the only problem on the test that you actually even need your calculator for. What you're going to do, you're going to type the function into your calculator, and then you can go ahead and press zoom 6. And as we look at the graph, you can notice that we have some stuff going on down here that we don't know. So we're going to need to change our minimum. We also don't need all of this over here, so I'm going to change, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to change my window from -5. So my x, I'm not going as far left because we don't need it. I'll go ahead and leave the x max as 10, but my y minimum, I need to make that really large. I actually know how far down you have to go, but generally I would guess around like -100 and then maybe do -200. So I'm going to go ahead and start with -200, and we're going to take a look again at our graph. And now you can see that we're able to view everything within on the graph. Okay, so we want to make a sketch of the graph just to use as a reference. So I'm going to make my two axes. And notice I'm kind of more to the left here, so I'm going to go ahead and put this here. And then we have over here, you'll notice this goes a little bit past -1, and then to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's kind of 6 to the right. Okay, and the rest is just a sketch. So I know what's happening is I'm coming down, and then I have a minimum, and then I come up, and then I have a maximum in here, and then we come down somewhere, who knows, and then we come up, and it's somewhat like this. Okay, so these points aren't completely factual, but it kind of looks like, if you look here, 1, 2, 3, somewhere between like 4 and 5. So 1, 2, 3, oh, somewhere between 4 and 5. So my minimum is like somewhere here, maximum, minimum. Okay, so with that said, then what you also want to do, a suggestion I had made earlier in terms of talking about increasing, decreasing, is I want to set up all my turning point x values. Okay, and I don't know what they are yet, so I'm just going to let that be. And to find this first minimum, I know it looks like it's in between like -1 and 0, and I know it's a minimum, so I go second, trace, minimum is 3, so I'm going to press 3, and left bound I'm going to say -1, and right bound I'm going to say 0, and my guess it's somewhere in between. And then we have, oops, I'm going to round it 2 decimal places. I'm going to do that just one more time. Oopsie daisies. All right, there we go. You'll get more numbers here. I purposely changed the mode so it's only rounding to 2 decimal places just because it makes it a little bit easier. So this point is -0.32 and -9.43. So down here, I just want the x value, -0.32. Okay. This is a max, and so what I'm going to do is go second, trace. Maximum is 4, so I'm going to press 4. And this is in between 0 and 1, so left bound 0, right bound 1. And then we get, for this one, 0.35 and -8.54. So down here I'm going to put the x value of that, so 0.35. And then here, like I said, I think this one was between 4 and 5. Let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So that's a minimum, so I'm going to press 3. And left bound is 4, right bound is 5. Yep, sure enough, you can kind of see how it hopped and hopped. And then the minimum is 4.48 and -1.36.71. Okay. Oops, -136. And so we have 4.48 for our x value. Now again, this number line represents my continuous function here. And we can see from -infinity all the way to the turning point, I'm going down, so that's a decreasing. And then in this little section here from negative 0.32 to 0.35, this is increasing, and then I'm decreasing, and then I'm increasing. Okay, so I have my 3 turning points, negative 0.32, negative 9.43, 0.35, negative 8.54, and 4.48, and then negative 136.71. All right, for the max and the min values, all right, we're only looking for the y value of our turning points. Okay, so this is a minima, negative 9.43, and this is a minima, negative 136.71. And then for the maxima, it's going to be the y value here, which is negative 8.54. For increasing and decreasing, we always do this in terms of x. Okay, and also for increasing and decreasing, we do not include like how we would on the domain and range. Everything should be parentheses, so not inclusive. So for increasing, I'm going to go look for my increasing sets. I have 2 of them. My first set is negative 0.32 all the way to 0.35, and that's a union. And my other set is from 4.48 to infinity. And then for decreasing, it's negative infinity to negative 0.32, union, and then 0.35 to 4.48.